Welcome to Silent Seniors No More. Before we start, a quick note. I am not an attorney and I'm not giving legal advice. This podcast simply shares real experiences, public documents, and the Florida statutes that affect residents living in mobile home parks. The goal of Silent Seniors No More is to help people understand what is happening in their communities and to encourage them to ask informed questions. For legal advice, always speak with a qualified attorney. Episode 4: When they can enter and when they cannot. Just think, you're sitting at home, having coffee, maybe even watching TV, and then you see someone outside. No knock, no notice, no explanation. Just someone walking around your lot like they own it. In many Florida home parks, this happens more than people realize. But here's the truth. There is a law that governs exactly when park management can enter your lot. And just as important, how they must identify themselves when they do. Today we're going to break down one of the most misunderstood protections in Florida. Florida Statute 723.025. Because this isn't just about property. It's about privacy, it's about dignity, and for many seniors, it's about feeling safe in your own home again. Let's strip away all that legal mumble jumble. Under Florida Statute 723.025, park management does not have unlimited access to your lot. Let me say that one more time. Park management does not have unlimited access to your lot. They can only enter under specific conditions. Number 1, emergency situations: fire, a flood, a gas leak, immediate danger to life or property. In these cases, no notice is required. Number 2, necessary repairs or maintenance, utility lines, infrastructure, something the park is responsible for maintaining. But this must be reasonable, non-arbitrary, and not used as a pretext. Inspection of the lot with limits to ensure compliance with written rules that all of us have been given, or safety standards. But this must be done at reasonable times and cannot be used for harassment or intimidation. And number 4, when you have given permission, if you invite them or if you request service, this is voluntary, not forced. What the law does not allow, and here's where it gets real, the law does not allow random walkabouts, checking up on you without cause, entering your lot after a dispute or a complaint, using inspections as retaliation, staff just wandering around the lots without any purpose, and most importantly, they cannot use entry as a tool to intimidate or pressure a resident. Here's a witness statement. After I spoke up at a meeting, they started coming by my lot almost every week. No notice, just showing up. It didn't feel like an inspection. It felt like they were watching me. That's not what 723.25 was designed for. You know, attorneys happen to recognize patterns, and the attorneys that handle Chapter 723 see these patterns, and it happens after a resident speaks up, and they get labeled difficult. That's when the increased inspections begin, and the notices or violations follow. And it all starts with entry onto the lot. This is why documentation matters. This is why you have to frequently write down everything. Because when entry becomes frequent, targeted, and unexplained, it may no longer be lawful. It may be retaliatory. Identification. This is the missing piece most residents don't know. Let's talk about something that's really, really important. Who is actually on your lot? If someone is entering your property claiming to be the park manager or any part of park management, whether they're maintenance or the infamous inspector, they should be able to clearly identify themselves. And by that, I mean the employees should carry visible photo identification. And that photo identification should have their name, their position, and obviously a photo. And they should be able to state their purpose when they come onto your property. And why this matters? Without the ID, you don't know if they actually work for the park, if they're authorized to be in the park, or if they're just trespassing. Another resident concern: I saw someone in my yard taking pictures. I asked who they were, and they just said, I work here. No badge, no ID, nothing. I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable. What is your right? You can calmly say, may I please see your identification and the reason you're entering my lot? If they can't provide it, you have every right to question their presence and to ask them to leave. Where this all crosses the line. Entry becomes a problem when it's frequent and targeted, it follows complaints or organizing, it lacks clear purpose, it involves unidentified individuals. At that point, it may no longer be an entry under statute, it may be harassment, it may be retaliatory under Chapter 723. What you should do. If this keeps happening to you, document everything. Please, document everything. Dates, times, who enters, and what they did. Take photos, videos if you can, especially if there was no ID shown. Put it in writing. Send a calm, simple email. Please clarify the authority, purpose, and identification requirements for staff entering my lot under Chapter 723.25. This lets management know that you understand the Florida statute. Also, talk to your neighbors. Patterns become powerful when they're shared. One story, it just gets dismissed. 10 stories becomes evidence. In closing, your lot isn't just land. It's your home. It's your space. It's your little piece of paradise. And Florida Law 723.25 was written to protect that. Not to give unlimited access, not to create fear, not to allow silent intimidation. So remember this. They may have the right to enter, but only under the law and never above it. And one more thing. If someone steps onto your property without explanation, without reason, and without identification, you are not the problem for asking questions. You are the reason that this law exists. This is silent seniors no more, because voices that were once ignored are now being heard. If this episode hits home for you, share it with a neighbor, a friend, or someone who needs to know you are not alone. You do have rights.